crime scenes. Here's an early photograph of them photographing a crime scene. You see one of our detectives here taking photos. It's the same setup that's here. You can see your foil bulb and your for your flash. Interesting enough, these are very hard to find today. Do you know the reason why? Once the young kids found out those flash holders or stands, they use them for the lightsabers in Star Wars. They started buying them up. Every time they came up for sale, they'd buy them up and make lightsabers out of them. So it became, they used to be a dime a dozen, now you can't find them. So another interesting piece, our booking camera. This is actually our booking camera from 1925. This is a photograph of them kind of testing it out in 1931. This was restored, it still works. And this took all of our booking photos. So all of the, I'll show you. So it still works. We could actually take booking photos with it today.
So it's pneumatic.
Well, it basically runs on air.
Yeah.
You basically put your thumb over there and pump it, and it hits the shutter. And you see in the photo, he's doing the same thing. He's got the ball in his hand. So this was used for taking booking photos. We used this forever. It was such a great camera. We used this. We bought it in 1925. We used it well into the 70s.
Wow.
So, yeah, it held up. You know, and still works. We could use it today if we wanted to. Kind of give you a quick. So here's just a kind of a quick video on some of the famous inmates here at the Hall of Justice. He was the district attorney of Los Angeles. Barbara Graham, the doll, the one the doll was made.
Oh.
Assistant district attorney.
1938.
LAPD police captain. So we put them all in here. We didn't hold back on it. One of our worst serial killers in Los Angeles.
Oh.
Guy used to impersonate a police officer. Henry Lavis from the Sleepy Lagoon case.
Hmm.
Female serial killer. Well, he's Jack the Ripper. So these are major criminals here in Los Angeles. Major cases. Board of Supervisor.
Wow.
So these are major cases, major criminals that have come here. They were all housed here in the county jail. Every one of these guys was housed here in the county jail. So when you talk about famous people that come through our jails, every famous, and I don't want to call them famous because
Infamous.
they're all infamous, they're all awful. Every one of them that come through here have come through and been housed here in the county jail. We have housed them in this building. They stepped foot and walked through this building, held them through those doors. Their trial was held up in the courtrooms. So every one of those cases, the sheriff's department has a connection to. So as much as they might not be our cases, because LAPD might have handled the cases, our connection to is we house those particular inmates. So this is some other stuff related to technology from that time, everything from cameras to fingerprint kits, to some of our early color cameras. In 1959, we started shooting crime scene in color. First case we ever shot in color, defense attorney fought to say, hey, how do I know this color photo? How do I know your colors aren't off and that's blood? So after that, we had to shoot with this color plate next to anything that we wanted to prove that it was the color, whatever we were trying to prove the color was. So with that said, in 1959, we started shooting color, and everything after that we shot with that color plate just to confirm whatever color that was in the photo was the actual color we were processing our photos correct. Here's some interesting stuff related to surveillance. First surveillance film camera, 1949. one of our early wiretap machines, so what they call reel-to-reel wire recording. This is where we could record telephone conversations, bug houses, whatever we decided to do. Also, polygraph, which at that time they called a lie detector.
Right.
It is not a lie detector. It is a polygraph machine. Any psychopath could pass this thing. So as long as you believe your lies, you're good to go. Yeah.
I love this.
So, let's talk about one of our, I think, in our most notorious cases. In 1935, a man by the name of Robert James, who lived in Crescenta Valley. Any Crescenta Valley people here? So Robert James lived in Crescenta Valley. He owned a barber shop here in downtown LA. In 1935, his wife Mary tells him that she's pregnant. He does not want a child, and the truth is, he doesn't want her anymore. Him and his friend Charles Hope, and this is why you make sure your friends are smarter than you. This is a good lesson. Do not hang out with people that are not smarter than you. Robert James and Charles Hope go out to the movie theater here on Broadway. They see Cleopatra. That time he's telling Charles Hope that he wants to kill his wife. They come up with the idea after seeing Cleopatra with the snake biting her. Hey, my wife always complains about snakes in the yard. What if a rattlesnake was to bite her? Long story short, they buy a rattlesnake from this man, this guy Johansson. He has a rattlesnake at the Pike in Long Beach, and basically for money you could throw a rat in the cage and watch the snakes kill him, and apparently that was entertainment. He buys the two snakes, lightning and lethal, from him, and go back to the house, and what they do is they're convincing the wife to have an abortion. She believes she's laying on the table to have an abortion. Charles has a hood over his head. They have a box. As they hold her down, they put her foot in the box with the rattlesnakes. The rattlesnakes repeatedly bite her feet. She's not dying. What Robert James decides to do is he's going to fill up the tub and he's going to drown her. Drowns her in the tub. They then take her out to the backyard pond. They dump her in the pond. They both go their separate ways. He arrives home a couple of hours later, calls Altadena Sheriff Station and says, I found my wife in the pond. I don't know what happened. Long story short, coroner does the autopsy. He said, oh, it looks like she might have stepped on a rattlesnake nest, probably got disoriented, fell in the pond and drowned. It's good to go. He collects his $14,000 in life insurance. No one's asking any questions. The problem is, his not so bright friend, he only pays him $20. Throws him $20.
That'll do it.
This guy decides he's going to go to the local bar and he's going to start having some drinks. And while he's having drinks, he's complaining to people at the bar, their patrons, I helped my friend kill his wife, and all I got was $20. He got $14. And people go, oh, that's terrible. That's all he gave. And they're running to the phone and calling the district attorney and calling the police department. At that time, we initially think it's an LAPD case until they find out the murder actually took place in Crescenta Valley. So then it becomes a case involved with the sheriff's department. Once again, I'm sorry, my phone is going to keep ringing. It's a sheriff's department case, a LAPD case, and a district attorney's case. They all work on it together. And the interesting thing about this case, it's a first case where they actually use a recording device. This is 1935, and they actually use what they call a dictograph to record it. What they record is this woman here. At that time, LAPD police captain Earl Kynette, who you saw on that thing getting booked for, in 1938, he actually he bombs another police officer's car. He sets a bomb in the car on the orders of the chief and the mayor. He's sentenced and does a long time in prison. But prior to that, he actually had a decent reputation, and he was a detective, a captain at LAPD.
Yeah, the flight, so we're gonna take off.
All right.
Oh,
We can finish it.
okay, yeah, I'll let you guys.
Oh,
Well, next time you guys come, I'll finish the story about the rattlesnake.
So you will eventually call, right?
You can just bring them. I'm gonna take them with me. I can take them with me.
So we're gonna go
You
in
guys
his
can-
car. You wanna come, you could come, or you can.
Okay.
You go park there too, वहीं पे आपकी गाड़ी भी है ना?
okay, well, we're splitting up at the moment, so we're in this and